I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for we. Alright, devil fruits. Devil fruits are these, basically they're fruits. They're fruits that you find in the One Piece world that give you certain abilities, depending on which fruit you eat. But there's a cost to it. You lose the ability to swim. For whatever reason, once you get waist deep in water, you're done. It's over for you. You're swimming with the fishes. That's what it is. You want powers or you want to swim. All devil fruits have a swirly little pattern on them. And they're also shown to be like, I don't know, fucking gross tasting. Everybody always says they're just gross tasting, right? A couple more things. Only one in the world exists of a certain devil fruit. Did I say that right? I probably said that real stupid. Stupid! There's only one type of devil fruit, you know. How do I fucking say this correctly? What the fuck? What? I'm gonna put it simply. If you eat the gum fruit, there's not gonna be another person in the world with the gum fruit abilities like you. Not only that, if you die, it will just be reborn into the world. Somebody will find it, usually nearby. So yeah, it's not lost forever. Another thing. All it takes is one bite of the son of a bitch to give you the powers. All it takes is one bite. You don't have to eat the whole thing. Not only that, somebody can't just run behind you. Like, let's say you take one bite and you throw it on the ground. It's like, oh, somebody runs up behind you. It's like, oh, I want those powers. Let me take a bite of this shit. Doesn't work like that. Once you take a bite, those powers are yours. And that extra shit, whether you decide to eat the whole thing or not, because it's fucking gross tasting, it renders it useless. You have those powers. It's a sealed deal. You're done data. You can't swim. You know, and those powers are yours, whether you like them or not. Now, another thing, before I get into the different types of devil fruits, because they're split into three, but another thing, it is said in the One Piece world that you can only eat one devil fruit per person. One devil fruit per person. You try to eat two, your body will fucking explode. Now, there is an exception, and that exception is Blackbeard, that son of a bitch. That motherfucking gangster. He's a boss. This guy ain't nothing to be played with. You feel me? They still don't show how he did it, but he does. He eats two devil fruits. He already had one. I don't even talk about fucking Blackbeard theories right now, because I will fucking digress. He had one, and he took another one. Okay, and then for anybody who hasn't got that far in One Piece or hasn't even started yet, I don't want to give shit away, but this motherfucker gets two, and he's the only one in the world that does it, because he's a fucking boss, and yeah, he's a savage. So, but let me start explaining the three types of devil fruits, because they're classified by three types. Three devil fruits are Paramecia, Logia, Zone, right? If you never watch One Piece and you're kind of thinking like, why the fuck are these fruits split into three? Why does it got to be so, complex like that? If they give you, superpowers, why you got to split them up into three? It's because what the fruits do, the attributes it gives you and all that good shit. And I'll put it as simple. The fuck am I saying? I'll put it as simple as this.
Try again, motherfucker.
The Logia transforms. It gives you the ability to transform into like elemental powers, fire, ice, fucking smoke. Shouts out to Smoker, my boy, even though he takes mad L's. All right, that's the Logia. You got Zone, which basically turns you into a fucking creature, animals and fucking dinosaurs and fucking mythical creatures and shit. I'll break down the Zone at the end of this video, because all the fucking subcategories and all that shit, it's so crazy. But yeah, Logia elemental, zone, animals, and now you're wondering what's up with Paramecia. Paramecia, if it doesn't fall into the Logia category or the zone category, it gets thrown in the Paramecia category, right? Everything else gets thrown into this fucking category. So I'll break down the Paramecia right now, baby boy. Alright, Paramecia, you could break Paramecia down into 3 categories itself, what it does to the user. They could either manipulate their body, they could either manipulate their environment, or they could generate a substance. I'll break it down. Who can manipulate their body? Nico Robin, for example, right? She could fucking grow arms and legs and all types of shit from her torso, from whatever, right? She can manipulate her body. Who can manipulate the environment? Oh, you know who can manipulate the environment? That motherfucker Whitebeard. Ooh, listen, guys. If you ain't never seen One Piece, Whitebeard, this boy is like a walking rhinoceros, son.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, and this boy's a savage, bro. He fucks that boy up right here. Bink. This boy is a savage, bro. I don't even want to talk about Marineford, just in case you ain't never watched it yet. But Whitebeard, that's that motherfucking boy, dude. Let me just say that. Yeah, but that's Whitebeard, man. Top hitter, big man ting. You feel me? But let me talk about my boy Magellan. I said there's body alteration, right? There's manipulating your environment, and then there's generating a substance or creating a substance. And Magellan is that motherfucking dude, right? Warden of Impel Down, right? This fool, he put the beats on Blackbeard. He put the beats on Luffy like he was Dr. Dre. This kid, he made Luffy get the fuck up out of there, He made Blackbeard get the fuck up out of there, You ain't just gonna finna walk in the Impel Down and do what the fuck you gonna do, right? Not without getting your ass whipped by Magellan, Poison. If you guys are wondering what's his devil fruit power, is poison, and he does all types of shit with it. But yeah, that boy, he put the beats on those dudes. You feel me? Peek. Not giving a motherfuck. But yeah, that's the Paramecia for you. There are a couple abilities that don't really fall into either of those 3 that I just talked about: body, environment, or substance. But still, it still gets thrown in the Paramecia category, like Brook, you know what I mean? Brook can't manipulate his body or anything like that, but he ate the devil fruit, which basically revives him after he passed away, you know what I mean? So that's a Paramecia, Shouts out to Brook. I'm gonna do a video on my boy Brook, one of my favorite Straw Hats, probably top 3 Straw Hats, but that's my boy. But yeah, that's Paramecia, kind of simplified. Like I said, I'm going to talk about special Paramecia at the very end. Talk about that boy category. But let me get into zones. So, first off, zones have 3 forms, right? They got their beast form, they got their human form, and they got their hybrid form. Also, with zones, since they're kind of based off animals, and a lot of animals fall into the same category, let's say the dogs, right? They'll kind of split it into series or models, like model jackal or model wolf, right? Yeah, and they're all part of the dog fruit, just different models. Same thing with snakes. You'll have snake fruit, model cobra, and model anaconda, There's also more subclasses of zone. You're probably, what the fuck are all these classes, right? And they kind of split them up into ancient zones, basically like fucking dinosaurs, like Drake. And mythical zones. The mythicals are probably the rarest devil fruits, right? Like mythical, like you got Marco, turns into a fucking phoenix, right? That's not an actual creature. A phoenix is a mythological creature, right? You got fucking Goku turns into a giant Buddha. You know what I'm saying? Bang! Another thing, there's a couple notes too. Inanimate objects can also eat zone devil fruits, right? You're like, what? Inanimate? Like, shit that's not alive, not an animal. You know, because Tony Chopper, he's a reindeer. He ate the fucking human fruit, right? But no, I'm talking about inanimate objects like a sword. The sword ate that elephant fruit. I forget his name, Punk Freed or whatever, right? And then in Alabaster, you had that dog. You had that gun. They ate that fucking dog fruit, right? Not the dog. They ate the gun fruit, right? I put that picture up. That's a fucking gun to eat the dog fruit, right? This is welcome to One Piece for you, right? Yeah, that's zone devil fruits for you, puppy. You know, that's just animals and creatures and shit, isn't it? You know, if dinosaurs, mythological creatures. I'm surprised there isn't a fucking Loch Ness monster fucking devil fruit, but I digress. But yeah, that's zone devil fruits. Anything that has to do with animals, creatures, dinosaurs. It's pretty simple, right? Onto the Logia class, the elementals. Let's get into it. All right, Logia class. Right, to put it simply, elementals, baby. You know, fire, ice, thunder. Fucking, I said thunder. Hold on. You a dumbass. Lightning, my bad. Stupid. Lightning, all that good shit, right? The elementals, you know what I'm talking about. Stop playing with me. But yeah, the elementals, right? And for probably a good first part of One Piece, the Logia class is like supreme, right? Because without the introduction of Haki, which I'll put in a later video, Haki is like a power system that lets you bypass all that special shit. But you know, the Logia class was intangible. So if you're not a fucking whiz like Rayleigh or some shit, you know what I mean? You ain't touching the Logia class, bro. Period. Good example, right? Is in Alabaster again. Fucking my boy Luffy couldn't touch Crocodile. Crocodile was serving that kid up. Bing, 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 putting the beats on that little boy. Couldn't hit him. He was made out of sand. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't do it. You heard? He couldn't do it. He couldn't hit him, right? Which brings me to a point. The Logia class, since they're elementals, their weakness usually comes in the form of that element's weakness, right? Good example, Crocodile, right? The moment this bitch got wet, Luffy could hit. You know, Crocodile got wet, Luffy hit that. You know, pause on that too, because that don't sound right. But it is what it is. Water binds sand, right? So that boy Luffy, he turned into Water Luffy, right? That shit's funny. Big old blubber. That boy funny. That boy funny with it. But yeah. Another thing to note about the Logia class. You'll have similar devil fruit powers, right? And one will always be stronger than the other, right? It's a hierarchy, right? There's levels and shit. Good example is your boy Ace. You know what I'm saying? That boy got fucking turned into a bagel, son. You know? He got turned into Katakuri's favorite snack. No disrespect to any of you Ace fans, but you know, you guys know what I mean. To those of you who hasn't seen this shit. For those of you who don't know, I'm gonna put it real simple. Magma will always beat fire. And so on and so forth. It's as simple as that. Real quick. But yeah, that's the Logia class. Elementals, right? They could shoot fucking flames and turn their body into fucking whatever element, right? Make their bodies intangible. Which brings me to the last subject, right? I've been talking about that boy Katakuri. That boy's a fucking solid G. I don't want to digress because he's, you know, I get into these rants. But he's the first character that falls into the special paramecia category. Meaning He could do all the things Paramecia can do, you know, but with the added benefits of the Logia powers. For example, he ate the mochi fruit, right? Turn his body into fucking mochi. If you guys don't know what mochi is, it's like a fucking dessert. My wife loves that shit. I don't like that shit, but you know, sticky fucking rice or some shit, right? I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Right? Fucking stretches. He did everything fucking Luffy can do, right? Luffy can stretch his fucking body. Boom. Body manipulation like all the Paramecias, right? But here's the thing. He fucking turned his fucking finger into a bullet and he shot that shit at Luffy, right?
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
And everybody's like, what the fuck? How's he able to shoot fucking his finger, right? That shit Logia people can do. Logia fruit users, right? So he falls into the special Paramecia category, and he's the only character there hasn't really been, you know, dived further into. But who knows? Hopefully they'll explain it more. Hey yo, but that's my quick little video on devil fruits. You know what I'm saying? I will retouch it, or we will revisit it. What the fuck am I saying?
Try again, motherfucker. Try again, motherfucker.
I will revisit it in the future when I get better at making these videos. A lot of this shit, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, all of it is done off my phone, guys. So I'm just cranking these shits out, you know, having fun, putting shit out there, you know, until I get legit with it. Cause I ain't stopping. We Grandline bound, baby, and I appreciate y'all. Slap that like, you know, help your boy out. Hit that subscribe if you want to see more of my shit. It's completely free. You ain't gotta pay $1. You ain't gotta pay a dime, son. I mean that. What else am I gonna say? Oh, you're probably thinking, or probably wondering, if you watch One Piece, and you're probably wondering, like, why you spent this whole video not talking about Luffy's powers? What? You know, you haven't talked about Luffy's powers, what category they fit into, or none of that shit, right? For those of you who watch One Piece, I ain't finna talk about any of that. You know, I don't want to digress. But if you haven't seen One Piece, I'll make it simple. His ability starts off in the Paramecia class, but ends up moving. Alright? And I'm just gonna leave it like that. Watch One Piece and you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You feel me? You heard? And I appreciate you. Slap that like video, baby. Slap that like video, will you? Stop it. Get it together, Mike. I'm hella stupid. We out, baby. Family, let's get it.